Okay, I think we've got the link up now, and I think we're ready to go. So I'm really sorry to everyone for the mess up with the links. But yeah, Janet, do you want to go from there?
Hi, good evening and welcome. For those of you that have just joined, Charlotte Ansell is now going to give an introduction about the project and a little bit that was involved in starting this process. Welcome to the launch of Chosen, an anthology of writing from young people, and also commissioned poems from myself, Janet Plummer, who's your co-host tonight, with Charlotte Ansell as well. We're looking forward to having a really, really good evening, and we just really embrace and welcome all of the voices that we've heard, all of the development that we've seen, and the growth that we've seen within the young people, those that took part in the online Zoom sessions that we had to run because of COVID instead of having face-to-face sessions, and also those young people that responded to our open call. It'd be really lovely to meet face-to-face at some point in the future, and we never know, we might have a Chosen young people catch-up session at some point, maybe in the autumn or winter time. I'm going to hand you over to Charlotte, who wants to say a few words about the project and the Royal Society of Literature award that we had that made this possible. Thank you very much, RSL. We really, really appreciated your support, as well as PAC UK.
Yeah, hi everybody. Hi everybody, I'm really sorry for the technical hitches. That's my fault. I managed to get 2 different links, but so some of you will have heard this introduction before, so I'll do it more briefly, and some of you won't. If you are able to look at the live chat, I have put the correct link in there now, so if you scroll down you should be able to find it, and hopefully that's working for everybody. But yeah, we're really excited to launch this project. We've got some of our young people here to read for us tonight. We've also got some actors standing in for the young people who didn't feel able to read their own poems. The project came out of a successful bid to the Royal Society of Literature for a Literature Matters Awards, and that's what funded the project. And we also had support from PAC UK. Due to COVID, we had to do the project online, and we did some online creative writing workshops with some of the young people you see here. And we also had an open call for submissions, so some of the work was just sent to us, and we chose poems to go in the book. Essentially, what we were trying to do with this was, because we felt that adopted young people can so often be overlooked, and because they have a real struggle sometimes to belong and find their own identities, and that is something that's not necessarily appreciated or understood by everybody. And we wanted to give a voice to those young people, which is what we're doing with the Chosen book and with this launch tonight. We were blown away by the work that we received. Not everyone wanted to write about adoption. Some people did, and some people chose other subjects. So there'll be a range of things you'll hear tonight. And not everybody felt able to perform their poems. Some of the poems are very emotional and personal. So that's why some people aren't reading themselves. They've got someone else to read for them. I think that's all I'll say for now, but thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy what you hear, and hopefully you've stuck with us even though we've had a tricky start, and apologies for that. And I'll hand back to Janet, who's going to introduce the young people and host for us.
Yeah, welcome and good evening. I just want all of the young people to just be here, be present, be prepared, not to worry. Thank you for sharing your work to your families, your friends. It's really brave, and I just think it's a really nice ending to part of the process that we've gone through probably for the last 8 or 9 months. But we're really, really happy that we've got a finished product. We're there, we're over the line. We're going to be hearing from people reading their work tonight, and it'd just be nice if anyone wants to put any comments in the chat or have feedback for the young people. I think it'd be really welcome. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for bearing with our technical hitches. But we're just really, really glad to be at this process. We've been approached by a number of professionals, some social work professionals who work in adoption. And we've also had a few psychotherapists that want to be part of this process in the future, or they might want to speak to us, or we have been approached for podcasts and interviews, and that's a possibility. Please do contact us directly so that we can speak to you. And the Instagram link is Aspire Creativity. But we'd really look forward to hearing from you or having feedback from you, constructive preferably. Right, we're going to start this evening with a poem that is called Corridor to Adoption. It's one of the poems that was commissioned specifically for this project, and it was written by myself, Janet Plummer. And the preface to it is that it is a journey out of a mother and baby placement into foster to adopt. So adopters that are going to initially foster first and then adopt. A guttural sound that zapped high, off walls, rebounded and landed in a corner. We do not open that door. We don't open that door much. Occasionally plump the cushions, vacuum, and shut the door. Sometimes at night, a low sound can be heard. A moan, something amiss. We do not go into that room where two babies were handed to a worker who had no kind words to offer to a mother with milk engorged breasts, confusion in her head and a howl in her gut. We shut the door, try not to remember. And that's one of the first opening poems in the book. The next poem was written by Lizzie, and it's entitled Five Mothers. Lizzie isn't going to be reading tonight, but we have had the kind offer of Imani reading that poem tonight. So when you're ready, Imani, great.
My first mum left me. She couldn't take care of me. Drugs were her priority, not me. The doctors took me away at birth, gave me a second mum. My mum's mum was frightening and cruel. She locked me in the dark, taught me about hunger. I still feel very angry and confused, but mostly so ashamed. Despite it all, I was her golden child. My siblings suffered worse. Social workers took me away and brought me to my third mum. My third mum, she was kind and warm. She had a child called Angel. I stayed with her for 3 good weeks, then I knew. My fourth mum was just wonderful. I lived with her for 2 long years. She loved me like a proper mum. Her I will always remember. She also took my sister in, which made me feel much safer. From her I learned what kindness is. She wanted the best and knew I needed a younger mum. Got me ready for her. Hearts racing, my arms around her neck. Those were our first moments. She is my biggest wish to ever come true. It wasn't always easy, but we made it. A never-ending hug, listening eyes, the feeling of home. I have lived with her for 9 years now. I love her like I never thought I could. My dad and sister are here too, and make me feel complete, my very own family forever. That's Five Mothers by Liz.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. In terms of the depth of the words, it really was a punch in the gut the first time that we had that work submitted by Lizzie. And thank you for listening to all the suggestions for editing. But yeah, I think that is some work that will definitely stay within me and resonated. And the idea of moving and moves and transition. Your average child doesn't have all the moves and doesn't have the transition, and it is really difficult. And from what the adult adoptees have said, you know, this is part of the process, and people do have a journey, but I think that should really be expected. Thank you very much, Imani, for reading Lizzie's work so well. I'm going to ask all participants to mute themselves, please, while they're not speaking. We had a little bit of rustling. I'm going to move on to my second and final poem, and I've entitled it Chosen, which is the name of the book, chosen with a question mark. And I think it really speaks to my experiences in fostering and the fostering to adoption route. I did have to argue strongly that this is part of the process, and any book about adoption can't really ignore the fostering experiences. I have experience of being a foster carer for 11 years. I stepped out of a really amazing career that I was really enjoying, and I decided to be a foster parent, and I did that for maybe 11 years, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Some very challenging, bonding with children, young people, and also their birth family as well, which was really difficult and quite hard. But I just wanted to have a little essence of that with to contrast with some of the successful adoption stories. There is sometimes this starts in the UK anyway. Chosen, part 1. I have loved these new babies, wiped gunk off skin, watched navels crust and fall, heard their first breaths, sat up all night, worrying, effaced sick from my hair, laid them on my chest, bonded, counted milestones, minutes and months. Have felt this ache when you left, feel pure love for you. I pine for you, have been chided for loving you too deep when I have loved you only as much as you deserve and as much as I have been loved. Part 2. Sometimes your mother is by my side in our houses, giving aggro, sometimes not. Mothers who fed you too much or too little, went out when they should be in, had every element of their lives documented, a team of watchers, seers, sayers. Their word is final. After the 4th mother leaves, the epiphany strikes. These babies do not go home. I do not know how much longer I can take this. It takes something away from me each time. Part 3. Each year, in a small street in Castellabate, I shop. I buy a wooden name train for each of you. I have given only the first beloved child their train, handed to his adopters, the precious letter carriage. I line the rest up at Christmas. Where are you all now? I ponder on the other 8 children. Part 4. Mother number 6 squeals with delight at freedom, then asks if she can stay longer with me. I feel like home. Mother number 7, who unintentionally stumbled into the care Wookie hole, a scared scrap of a child, then went on to ace parenting. Part number 6. I have waited 8 years for one to go home. And then, like buses, 2 come along. Thank you. Right, we're going to have some work read next by Joshua R. And it's called Inside, and it's going to be read by Lily. Lily, are you ready?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All you see is outside me. My vile face, the rotten bones, the ghostly eyes. Mess of a person type me. But inside me, there is another me. An angry face, the face glare, an annoyed grunt. A grumpy mad sort of me. And inside me, there's another me, full of disgrace, the ringing ears of mine, as painful as torture, a disgusting one of me. And inside me, there's another me, who's wrecked, broken, a desolate, vacant, desolate huncher, a crying weak, howling me. And inside me, there's another me, all thirsting and crying, the sad and generous, a defenseless creature type me.
Thank you very, very much, Lily, for reading that work by Joshua R. called Inside. I really appreciate it. We're going to have a little bit of a change now in terms of tempo and something unusual. We hadn't been expecting a submission of a short play. It is very short, and this has been written by Maya, and it's a 2-hander, so I'm going to be reading the part of the mom in this play. Maya, welcome. And yeah, we were blown away by not just your work and your words that you had submitted, but also Maya designed the cover of this. She is a talented artist, and her artwork was part of this process that we've been through. And there's also illustrations inside, as well as Ting Malin contributing to that process. When you're ready, Maya, if we read The Discovery, a short play.
Sorry, that's me. I was just trying to send the right link to the Eventbrite emails for the people that haven't been able to join us. So I was trying to do 2 things at once, and just bear with me 1 second.
Thank you for bearing with us, by the way. And for those of you who came along at the very beginning part of this process, thank you. This is modern technology. I am not technology's friend at all. And even the challenge of being on Instagram was a lot for me. I'm a paper and pen person, an in-person person, but we've all got to grow, learn and develop. Okay. I don't know if you want us to let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's make a start. So
fantastic.
This is The Discovery, a short play by Maya. Scene 1, the telephone call.
Mum, I need my passport number for the France trip.
Hayley, I'm really busy at the moment and about to go into a meeting. I'll get it for you tonight.
But you said that last night, and when you got home, you were too tired.
Look, I need to go into this meeting and I'm late. I cannot talk now. You just have to wait.
But school needs the numbers today. Mrs. Wilson asked me twice already. It's so embarrassing. I'm going to be the only one in year 12 who doesn't go. Just tell me where it is and I'll go get the number.
No, look, I really have to go. You don't need to look for it. I will get it for you later.
Every time I ask you for something, you're too busy. I don't know why you bothered to have a child, because all you care about is yourself.
You know that's not true. I love you a lot. But we can't have this conversation right now. I really, really have to go.
Yeah, my mum, the important finance director who earns loads of money but doesn't have any time for her own daughter. Well, don't bother, I hate you.
Hayley throws down her phone.
I need to get my passport number today, and I'm not going to wait for her to give it to me. I'm not going to miss out on this trip because she can't be bothered.
Scene 2, Mum's bedroom. Hayley glances around Mum's bedroom.
Right, where do I start looking? Where would Mum put my passport? I've looked everywhere. Where could it be?
Hayley glances up and spots a box on top of Mum's wardrobe. She gets the box down, opens it, and sees her passport.
Great, at last. I just need to write down the number. Oh, what are all these papers for? There's loads of them. And who is Cara McIntosh?
Hayley starts reading through the papers in the box.
Cara McIntosh, adopted at 3 months, adopted by Sarah Butler, but that's my mum. When did Mum adopt a baby called Cara? Adopted in 2002. Weird. That's when I was born. How can she adopt a baby and have me at the same time? Oh my God, it's me. I'm Cara McIntosh. No.
Scene 3, in the kitchen.
Hi, Hayley. Did you have a good day at school? Let me put on the dinner and then I will get the passport number for you.
I found my passport in the bedroom. I also found some papers about Cara McIntosh. Who is she, Mum?
Mum's eyes open wide and her jaw falls open.
What do you mean? No, please no. What did you see? I can explain. Oh no.
Tell me the truth. Am I Cara McIntosh?
Lights go black.
Thank you. And that was a short play by Maya called The Discovery. The next person that's going to read their work is Ting Malin, and I'd like you to read your work now, Ting Malin. Thank you.
Letter from my future self to me now. Dear me, life is not always easy. Some people aren't always kind, but stay strong. Focus on what makes you happy, on who loves you. Ignore comments you don't like. Reply back in a smart way. Find friends that makes you happy. And stop being kind to people you don't want in your life. Remember to take breaks. This life is full of tiring problems. Take a walk. Travel. Be with friends a while. And then come back to the hard stuff. Maybe after a long time, you will think differently or see just another point of view that will solve the problem. Be happy with what you do. Love me. Now I'm going to read my second part of writing, identity poem. I'm sporty. I'm part of a family. I'm the dark. I'm the rain. I'm the mysterious Chinese dragon. I'm the black light in the universe.
Thank you very much. Really appreciated you reading your work, Tim, and thank you for sharing all the way from Norway. Looking forward to seeing you when you next visit the UK. And I'm sure you miss the UK very much. You've got family and friends over here. The next person that we're going to, that we're going to hear Joshua H's poem, Abandoned, and this is going to be read by Imani. So when you're ready, Imani, that'd be great. Thank you.
Abandoned. We are what we perceive, but all I see is the dark emptiness of me. It's as vast as the sea, as deep as what I feel for you. Reciprocation is something that would be new to me, because no one has felt the same feelings I do. I loved my mum, and she left. Loved my dad, then he left. I was left with no sense of self. Who am I kidding? I need help. Not doing good in terms of mental health. I had help, and they said I fall too quickly for people. Get in over my head. Well, I guess it's happened again. Thank you. That was Abandoned by Joshua.
Thank you very much for reading out Joshua HL's poem. He's separate from Joshua R. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much, Imani. We had a real range of work, a range of topics and issues. We had younger teenagers, 13 years of age, submitting up to 18-year-olds, and that's the age range that we had chosen and selected, and it was quite difficult just getting the balance in terms of work that we were having submitted and published and also read tonight, and people are so different in terms of their approach and what they do. We're going to have Ash read next, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your work. Ash, you worked really hard and submitted and produced lots and lots and lots of work. Ash, I'd like you to read. Estelle, that would be great. Thank you. In terms of your work, I don't know whether Charlotte, you would like to read Dear Future Me, or you'd like me to. It's entirely up to you, Charlotte.
I think I lost you there for a minute, but yeah, so I think Ash wasn't sure she would be able to read tonight, even though she's done some brilliant reading in rehearsals and on a podcast and so on, but that's fine, obviously. So shall I read them, Janet? Yeah. Or did you want to?
I've got Dear Future Me in front of me.
Okay, do you want to read that one and I'll read the next one?
Great. So Dear Future Me by Estelle Ash, aged 13. Dear Future Me, just because you're different doesn't mean you're not normal. You're amazing and brave, even though you're shy and anxious. If people don't like you, it's their loss. Walk outside and be proud of who you are. You are who you are for a reason. People may not understand that, but believe in yourself. Don't copy others to make them see you differently. Don't change yourself for others. Love yourself. Let others love you. Don't push them away. Carry on being you, and you will go far in life. I believe and others believe in you, so don't give up. Love, past me. And that was a letter to her future self from Ash, Estelle. Thank you. Charlotte is now going to read the next piece of work from Ash. If you could do that, that'd be great. Thank you, Charlotte.
Yeah. So this is I Am by Estelle or Ash. I am from Wales. I'm a rugby player. I'm a best friend. I'm a feminist and an eco world supporter, especially for the ocean. I am odd, colourful, brave, but shy. I can be free, but still feel locked up. I am who I am for a reason. I doubt myself when I should be confident. I am the person I am, and I can't change that. I was not myself. I hid myself away. I never showed my true colours. I copied others to be liked. I was scared. I hope that I can find a life I enjoy, find friends I love, find my birth mum. I hope to be happy.
Thank you. I just wanted to really say thank you for all of your contributions and your involvement and your hard work to this project. Estelle, you worked so hard, and yeah, we really, really appreciate you. This is a really big deal, reading in front of the public and other people. Some people have never ever done it before, but we just appreciate all of you for agreeing to share your work. The next person that's whose work is going to be read is Chloe's, and it's Fearlessly Falling. That's going to be read by Kemi.
Fearlessly falling, situated side by side, unafraid to nestle into the other's crevices, never close enough to one another, unapologetically in love, all-consuming, inescapable love. Instead of panicking under the weight of it, you lean into it as if you'd always held each other up. Trust, you never doubt. Certain you're safe regardless of if you're being held. Curious about the world around you, you start to venture out alone. When you leave, you don't wait for her to follow, confident she is never far behind.
Thank you. And the next piece of work is written by Mai, and it's a short story, I believe. And we're doing an excerpt of it called Ursula Unilac. Thank you very much. Lily's going to be reading this on behalf of Mai.
The robin is back. 2 weeks ago, she built her nest on the narrow stone ledge underneath the window, and she has already filled it with 4 pale blue eggs. The robin cheeps and preens and rustles her feathers as she stands over her nest and surveys her brood. When she has counted them over twice, she settles her feathers and flies off in a flurry of red. Ursula Unilark presses a small hand to her wound and glowers at the nest. Her womb hurts. It has been hurting for the last month, but the sight of the 4 beautiful eggs that the proud mother awakens a new pain. A month ago, she was the robin, free and contented and assured in the knowledge that she held womanhood's greatest treasure in her womb. But since then, her nest has been plundered. Now she's empty, bereft. She raps on the iron door until it opens. The guard standing over the threshold has dark shadows under his eyes and a week's worth of beard on his cheeks and chin. Even the yellow feather in his cap droops. He has been kept from his bed and his wife for too long, all for the sake of Ursula Unlock's stubborn pride. But she is the Margrave's daughter, and he must be civil. Yes, my lady? I need a chisel and a hammer. You take me for a fool, begging your pardon, my lady. You'll be sorry if you don't. He shuts the door. She raps on it harder until he opens it again. Yes, my lady? At least give me a knife. Why would I arm you? Please? He pulls a knife from his belt and offers it to her hilt first. She weighs it in her hand, steady and perfectly balanced. She tests the point with a finger, and blood wells. She examines it with fascination, a lovely miniature ruby. Thank you. She shuts the door. She has the knife, and now she needs wood. But her small table, her low bed, and her wash basin are all made out of the same grey stone, and her fireplace is filled with bricks and coal. That only leaves the walls. She runs her hand over the dark oak panels. She will have to dig deep, but the walls are thick. It will take time, but she has all the time in the world. She will turn her cage into her soul child. She works away with the knife until the sun sets and the moon rises, until she's hacked out a chunk the length of her forearm and the width of her hand, until her fingers are raw and blistered and her back throbs. Where glossy oak panels were, there is a gaping hole. The thought of escape crosses her mind, but when she probes with the point of the knife, she finds that stone lies behind the wood. Never mind, she tells herself, but she can't stop her heart sinking. She wraps the block of wood in her red counterpane and takes it to bed with her. She holds it to her chest and whispers, "Soon, my child, soon you will come alive." She closes her eyes, and for the first time since that dreadful night on the riverbank, she doesn't feel alone. The next morning, she unwraps the bundle on the table and examines the block of wood. The soul child is inside the wood. All she has to do is cut away everything that isn't there. She traces the cracks and contours with the point of the knife, and taking a deep breath, digs in deep. The guard sharpens every knife in his belt every day, and it cuts through the hard wood like butter. Slowly, the soul child takes shape. He emerges from the block of wood as a butterfly emerges from its cocoon, shedding shavings as he pushes into the world. A knock on the door. "My lady?" The guards want to see if she is still alive or if she has impaled herself on the knife's point. If Ursula Unlock dies under their watch, they will spend the rest of their days in a cell. Or if the Margrave is feeling particularly vicious over the loss of his daughter, they will be put into a cage overlooking the docks where they'll die of starvation and become food for the gulls. She should open the door to reassure them, but she can't leave her half-formed soul child. She throws the pillows at the door to let them know she's still breathing and turns back to work. She caresses his face with her hand, strokes his nose and cups his cheek. She plants a swift kiss on his brow and picks up the knife again. With every cut of the knife, the ache in her wound lessens. When she lays down the knife, her palms are red and slippery with sweat. Her blisters from yesterday have reopened, but she ignores them. She wipes her hand on her skirt, hooks her hair behind her ears, and rubs her stomach. She needs to eat and sleep, but that can wait. Her soul child comes first. She picks him up and holds him at arm's length. He's heavy, almost as heavy as a newborn baby. Her grandfather, with his experienced eye, would have told her that the head is too big, the body too thick, the arms and legs too stumpy. But to his mother, he's beautiful. And that was Ursula Unlock by Mighty Greth.
Thank you very much. It was just really nice to have a mixture of stories, plays, poems and prose, and it was just really nice to read through, and that's what some of the people that made comments on the book had to say, that it was a real mix. Normally you just get a straight poetry book or straight prose, but it was really nice to have this pick and mix and that opportunity. I'm going to ask Kemi to read next, and Kemi will be reading Vanessa's poem that she wrote, and it's called My Song, and Vanessa's in the younger band of young people that we worked with. So when you're ready, Kemi, that would be great. Thank you.
My song. I want to love you, but I don't know how to. Do I say goodnight? Do I kiss you goodnight, or just say bye? I want to hold your hand so I can feel it. Help, help. I know I want to, but how? I know I want to, but how? Why can't I feel it for you? I want to love you, but I don't know how to. Do I kiss you goodnight or just say bye? I want to hold your hand till I can feel it. I'll always be there beside you. Even if I can't feel it, I will still be there for you, waiting for it to happen. I want to love you, but I don't know how to. Do I kiss you goodnight or just say bye? I want to hold your hand till I can feel it. I'll be there for you to hold on tightly. I'm sorry I said I hate you and wish that this would have never happened. I know that I need you, but I'm not really liking that thought. If you leave me, I probably won't survive. I want to love you, but I don't know how to. Do I kiss you goodnight or just say bye? I want to hold your hand till I can feel it. Thanks for everything. You better believe that I'm getting better and I'm going to make it to the other side. I know it will work, but only with your help. That was My Song by Vanessa.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. The next person that we're going to have read their work is Aaliyah. Aaliyah, we're really looking forward to what you've got to say. So when you are ready, I know you've got family and friends watching, but just enjoy yourself, relax. I'd like to introduce you to Aaliyah.
Hi everyone. I've got two poems that I'll be reading. My first one is My Quarantine. My quarantine has been weird, especially not being able to see my peers. Extra chill time was fun. Online shopping had begun. Sadly, schoolwork had to be done. House party was an app for my friends and I to stay connected, so no one felt neglected. Thursday at 6 p.m, we clapped to say thanks for our frontline workers, including NHS staff. Mid-quarantine, I started feeling down. My smile turned upside down. I started feeling a sense of loneliness, hiding behind my phoniness. I knew this had to change. This feeling of sadness was very strange. So I started doing things I enjoy. Baking, basketball, things that gave me joy. I started feeling more myself, left the old Aaliyah on the shelf. Lockdown 1.0, you were a nightmare, but you were also quite rare. That was my first poem. My second poem is called I Am Enough. Yes, I am bigger than some girls. Yes, I do get body shamed, but I won't name and shame, but I hope they feel ashamed. I don't have a figure of a petite Vogue model, but I aspire to be my own model. I like to treat myself with my favourite takeaway, or create a delicious fake away. I don't calorie check, but I mindfully check. I look up to my favourite celebrities today, Beyonce, Rihanna, as well as Kim and Chloe K. I'm starting to learn that I am enough. A trending quote by Vaz J. Morgan.
Thank you very much. That's a really nice smile. Every time I see you in your study with all of those books, I'm just like, I want to have a bookcase to rival that. But yeah, thank you for your engagement. I really, really have appreciated it, Aaliyah, and how much you've developed and grown. Great. And the next person that is going to read Aisha's work, it's called Second Lockdown. So Kemi is going to come back again. We're really working you hard, Kemi, but if you could read Aisha's Second Lockdown poem. We really enjoyed you being part of this process, Aisha. Sorry that you're not on here tonight reading your work, but Kemi, if you could read this work on behalf of Aisha, that would be great. Thank you.
A second lockdown. On the first day of lockdown, I felt lonely. On the second day of lockdown, my house felt more homely. On the third day of lockdown, I used a bath bomb. On the fourth day of lockdown, I went on Instagram.com. On the fifth day of lockdown, I watched Netflix. On the sixth day of lockdown, my friend watched Athletics. On the seventh day of lockdown, I played with my kitten. On the eighth day of lockdown, I bought some pink mittens. On the ninth day of lockdown, I listened to Jay-Z. On the 10th day of lockdown, we played with Nerf guns. On the 11th day of lockdown, I listened to Dave. On the 12th day of lockdown, I had a brainwave. On the 13th day of lockdown, I watched the video for NSG's song. On the 14th day of lockdown, I waited for the church bell to bong. On the 15th day of lockdown, I danced to AJ Tracy. On the 16th day of lockdown, I bought something lacy. On the 17th day of lockdown, I went online shopping. On the 18th day of lockdown, I had fun without stopping. On the 19th day of lockdown, I went to school. On the 20th day of lockdown, I said Boris was cruel. That was A Second Lockdown by Aisha.
Thank you. It's appreciated. Right, we're coming on next. The next person that's going to read their work is Joe, and Joe will be reading Snowboy. And you came as part of this process through the open submissions that we asked for, and we were just really impressed by your work. And also we were speaking earlier on today in rehearsals, and we just want you to let you know that we really appreciate you. So the next thing that's going to be read is called Snowboy.
Snowboy by Joseph Spencer. Snow covers the countryside, it shall never hide the Russian boy inside. Warm socks but cold feet, as it started to sleet. The snow falls heavy, slipping down like a sheet. This Russian boy forgets about the heat. He's out there prancing and dancing along with the floating feathers of angel wings falling around him. Imprints of visitors to the garden as well. The snow has now hardened, but the boy stomps through. Listen to the cracking of the snow as it turns to ice. Lucky Russian boy whirls in a light-filled wonderland. I am Russian boy, and I was chosen, and I chose snow.
Thank you. We really enjoyed hearing your work, and it really made us think. Thank you ever so much. The next person who's going to read their work, you've heard from her a little bit, who's literally, Charlotte Ansell has done everything. She's helped, well, she's designed this project, and she's had a lot to do with the delivery. She has forced me to engage in Instagram, and she's just done lots and lots for this project, and has been such an integral part of this process. And she's worked in adoption for a really long time. I don't know if you want to say anything about yourself or any words before you read your commissioned pieces as part of this process, Charlotte Ansell. But yeah, welcome and thanks.
Thanks, Janet. Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is very much a collaborative project, and we've both worked really hard on it, I know. Yeah, so I think Janet and our connection to adoption is not to have experienced it directly, but just through working with adopted young people and adoptive families. And for Janet, that's been more in the realm of foster caring. But I've written a poem based on some of the work that I do as a child psychotherapist, and this is called An ABC of Adoption. Just to say, I'm sorry, I can't spotlight. I'm trying to spotlight everybody as they read, but because I'm hosting the meeting, I can't spotlight me. So I don't know what you can see on your screen, but hopefully you'll be able to hear, if nothing else. An ABC of Adoption. After, the social worker left her with strangers who she is told to call mum and dad. Best behaviour, not because they insist, but because survival is all she has. Chosen. We chose you, they say, but rescue sticks to her tongue like the old days of cornflakes with no milk. Dad. She never knew hers. With this one, she has no idea how to act. Enough. Well-meaning. They think love will be enough. Forever is a word she can't trust. Family is worse as the tree her social worker draws branches off the edge of the page. Good girls do not run out in front of cars or drop their pants to poo outside plate glass fronted shops. Hope is a ball they pass around like a bomb. Identity is a box she's afraid to open. Jokes are supposed to have a punchline. Kindness is not the magic key they assumed that would open her. Like love, it falls short. Lucky. See chosen. So lucky to have you when she could have ended up in care. As continuums go, she's not even close. Mum. 2 mums to be exact. She misses the first. Will she ever come back? Never. Or at least not before she turns 18, which feels just as long. Order helps. Dolls lined up, pens rainbowed, books colour-coded on her shelf. Please, tell me who I am. Please, can I just go home? She pushes these parents away with a mulish will. Questions. They say she can ask anything she wants. Risk is complicated. Cross-reference safety and order. Sometimes it's what you know. Chaos has its own calm. Safety, 1. She can't explain why she runs away from the nice house with her own room and the meals that come more reliably than trains. Siblings, 2. She has to leave this blank. Trust. There are not enough words to deal with this. She replaces it with test, or is it trap? Sets as many as she can. Umbilical cord before the cut. If she loved me, why couldn't she keep me? There's no answer she understands. Versions. There are many. They do not add up to a whole. There are still gaps. W is for waiting, watching the door, and words, words, words. X, she knows, is the place to sign her name, if she can just remember which one. Y. Why isn't she grateful? This is cheating, which feels apt. And anyway, why not? Z. There is no Z, no neat ending. Don't ask for one.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for that piece of writing. Yeah, it's really appreciated. I think it's so emotional. There've been so many highs and lows and roller coasters of thoughts and emotions and different perspectives. But thank you for that, Charlotte. The next person's work that's going to be read is Jamie. It's called Some People, and Lily's going to read Jamie's work. If you're ready, Lily, we'd really like to hear you read now. Thank you.
Okay. Some people know what it's like to be called a mistake in front of their friends, to be low on food, to not have water, to not know how it feels to have luxuries, to wait in a smoke-filled room for someone to love you, to wait another year to get settled in a stranger's house, to be suffocated by your unknown pain, to talk to the wall asking where the nearest bed lay, to talk to yourself, to say you're lost with no one listening, to be without love, to be without hope, to be without knowledge, to be in a care home, to be on a merry-go-round with no escape. Sorry, I'm lost. Where's my mum? To be in childcare, to be in a loving family. Sorry, who are you? To be loved, to be hugged, to be comforted, to be looked down upon by a hopeful face, to be walked beside, to be proud, to be home in a place so accepting. That's Some People, after Rita Ann Higgins by Jamie.
Thank you, Lily, for reading Jamie's work, Some People. Sadly, I think we've come to the end of our launch tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of the family and friends and support. Thank you for Martha and Annette in particular from the Royal Society of Literature, who made this project possible, who provided the funding for it as well. Myself and Charlotte were saying it's probably the first of maybe many projects of work that we do. My next collection is a collection about fostering, and I know that Charlotte's had a lot of work that's developing, and she has developed about adoption, and I think it's the start of a really long journey with lots more that we've got to express and to say, and ultimately the important people are you who are adoptees or families who are adopters that need to be heard and have your voices documented. It's really important. But I think that if you'll allow us who are a little part of the periphery of this process to also express ourselves as well, it's appreciated. We'd also like to thank the Post Adoption Centre, who have just really provided lots of support. Thank you very much. In particular, Jane, I've really appreciated your support and your help, and also a thanks as well to Joy Carter. Thank you very much for all of your support and for asking us to be part of your podcast. If people contact us afterwards, we can give them links to these organisations that we can let them know how they can contact these organisations, whether it's for support or whether they actually want to buy a copy of the book. The book is £6 a copy and postage is £1.95. You can get a copy of the book by emailing us at aspirecreativity@googlemail.com. That's how old that email is. It's not Gmail, it's Google Mail, and it doesn't work if you put Gmail. So aspirecreativity@googlemail.com. And if you contact us, we can send you bank details, or if you want to pay by PayPal, £6.95 for one copy. International postage we've been asked about, but we do have the international postage prices. You can send PayPal payments to Sonnet Dreamer, SONNET, sonnet, as in a poetry sonnet, sonnetdreamer@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll send out your copies as soon as possible. But I just wanted to say I've really enjoyed being part of this process. This evening's ended much quicker than I'd hoped it would do. I think we are possibly going to be doing another online event, and who knows, maybe when we get back to normality, we can possibly have a performance. It was originally planned as part of this project that we were going to be doing a live performance, and that might still happen, and we do have high hopes for that. Thank you very much for all of the social work students that have contacted us and asked to make links with us, and also the psychotherapists that wanted to make links with us in terms of the project, and the young people that have generously shared their time, their effort and their words with us. We also want to thank B. Manzini as well for her part in the editing process and just generally supporting us with the media work as well. Thank you very much, B. We really appreciate you, and we really look forward to you contacting us. Drop us an email, drop us a line, let us know your thoughts, your ideas. I'm going to hand you over to Charlotte, who might want to say some words. I would ask the young people to participate, but I think we've got a few young people that are quite shy and maybe not wanting to, but if any of you young people did want to have a word, this is your time to say something, please do. But Charlotte will go next. Charlotte, if you want to just say a few words, you know, in this closing time of this launch of Chosen, an anthology of writing by adopted young people project. Charlotte Ansell.
Yeah,
I won't
keep you long, because I think it's probably a good time to finish, but just to say a big thank you to the audience. And we know we've had you separate on a live stream, but we will share all the lovely comments with the young people. I've been sort of checking in and seeing them, and thank you. You've been fantastically supportive, and we'll pass all those comments on. Just to say thank you to Franca and Leon and Bertie at PAC UK, because they were really very helpful. I think there's probably loads of people, and I'm going to forget because I didn't make a list, sorry, but I think we've put all our thank yous in the book. But yeah, we've had a lot of support with this project, and we're really grateful for it. And thank you to all our readers tonight. You all did an amazing job, and thank you everybody for coming along, and we'll end there. So
I've just remembered my one thank you, because I also didn't write it down. I just want to send a really big thank you from the bottom of my heart to someone who's really special to me. And I just wanted to send you all my love, Roro. Thank you very much for me being part of this whole journey in this world, and having an understanding of adoption and what it really entails and what it's about. But thank you for letting me be part of your beautiful journey.
Okay, good night, everybody.